Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. Today we're going to use Photoshop to create our very own Andy Warhol / Roy Lichtenstein inspired pop art portrait. So let's go ahead and dive in here and give this a try. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new document, and our document size is going to be 5 inches by 7 inches, 300 for the resolution. You can make yours bigger if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. And I am checking artboards here, although it's not totally necessary. So let's go ahead. Our first step is to place our file in here. So I'm going to go ahead and place embedded. I'm going to pick my portrait, place that right in here. And since it's a little small for my canvas, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger so that it fits in there pretty well. Now in this step, since I'm going to focus on my portrait, I particularly chose a plain background to make this really easy. You could mask this out and remove the background, but I'm going to do that in a later step. That's up to you. So if you want to do a select subject, remove background, that's your call. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. And you will notice that this layer is a smart object right here. So the nice thing is, as I do these next couple steps, it's going to put them as smart filters and make them editable. So I'm going to keep it as a smart object. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to invert this image. The quick key is Ctrl+i. It's going to give us the negative. And up in the menu, that is under the image menu, adjustments, and invert right there. And we have that option. So Ctrl+i, Command-I to invert it. Now, this is going to be weird because your image is going to disappear here in a second, but don't worry, we're going to bring it back. So we're going to go ahead and change the mode of this layer from normal, and we're going to go down to color dodge. Again, it looks like the layer has completely disappeared. Don't worry, we're going to bring this back in just a sec. So we're going to go up and add one more filter to this. So we're going to go to filter, we're going to go to blur, and we are going to use the Gaussian blur right here. I'm going to click on that. And when this window pops up, you're going to have to kind of dial in your settings to where you are seeing some good dark and light contrast. Like I don't think this would be enough black area in my next step. So you got to kind of dial it into where you think it needs to be. And the nice thing is this is a smart filter. I'll go ahead and leave it there. So you can see you've got your invert and your Gaussian blur. Those are smart filters that are riding over top of this layer right here. So we're going to go ahead and add in an adjustment layer. So we're going to click on our black and white circle here. We're going to go to the threshold option. And once that pops up, you're going to get rid of all of your kind of middle tone values, and it is going to be black or white. So you are picking the threshold at where it says, hey, you're black, or hey, you're white, and you need to kind of dial that in a little bit to where you want it to be. So for me, I'm kind of feeling like this is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this background area in a second. I'm just really kind of focused on the facial features and everything else in here that is working for me. So I'm happy with that. And again, this is adjustable because it is a layer that rides over top. So I could do this with the mask layer. If you cut this out ahead of time, that's fine, but I'm going to go ahead and add one more new layer here over top. And since this is really pure black and white, I'm going to go ahead and grab my brush. It's set to white. I'm using the most basic brush here, the hard round brush. I have everything, opacity flow set to 100, and I'm literally just painting white. This is kind of like using a mask layer, but I'm just doing it on an additional layer up above, very quickly getting rid of this texture in the background so that I can add in my own pop art dots and other effects in my next step. So let's go ahead and finish this up here. And you could also take this opportunity, since you are using just black and white, and I totally realized there would be a quicker way to do this, but I'm committed now, so I'm doing it. I'll go ahead and clean that up a little bit, and that should be good to go. A couple little spots here and there. If you decide that there's an area, I know in one of the other ones I had like a shadow in my cheek, it looked kind of weird, so you could go in here with your brush. If you go, oh, okay, I want to like kind of clean this up because it doesn't look right, you can adjust odd dark spots or correct things if you feel like you need to, but I'm going to leave that as is. Okay. I think I am essentially ready to go. So I'll zoom back out on this. My image looks all set up. So to wrap up this video, I'm going to go ahead and take all of my layers here. I'm going to hold the Shift key, and with the top layer selected, I'm going to select the bottom layer, all 4 layers are selected, and I'm going to go ahead and right click and say, let's convert that to a smart object. That's going to kind of zip all those layers up into one single object here. Now I can see a little bit of white up at the top, so I'm going to go back a step. I think I missed an area since I don't have a background area. Let's add a little bit more white up here to make sure that we cover that up. Should take care of it. Try that one more time. Shift, select them all, convert to smart object, and there we go. That solved my problem. That zipped them all up into one layer here. Now what's cool is, with a smart object, I can double click on this again, and it opens up a new tab, and I still have access to edit all of that stuff if I feel like I need to. So go ahead and close that up, go back, and at this point, let's go ahead and save our file here, save to your cloud, and in the next video, we'll talk about adding color. All right, good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.